From West Africa, we shift focus to the north, where tensions between rival administrations in Libya's east and west are escalating. The violent contest over Libya's central bank between Benghazi-based Eastern administration, headed by Khalifa Haftar, and the UN-recognized Tripoli-based Western administration, headed by Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dbeibah, has exacerbated the economic crisis in the country, leading to the shutdown of the Libyan oil fields. In the latest, the United Nations is pushing to convene an emergency meeting of the rival parties to hold talks and resolve the ballooning crisis. The UN support mission in Libya also called for immediately lifting the force majeure on the oil fields, saying that both sides must refrain from using the country's primary revenue source for politics. The US Embassy in Libya has said that it backs efforts by the UN to resolve tensions. US officials also met Libyan National Army Commander Khalifa Haftar. They urged all stakeholders to engage constructively in dialogue. On Monday, Haftar's Eastern administration said it was suspending operations at all oil fields and export terminals under its control. Around 90% of the country's oil fields and terminals are under the Eastern government's control. Libya is heavily dependent on oil fields for its revenue. The point of contention between the two sides is the appointment of the central bank head. Tripoli wants the central bank head, Sadiq Al-Kabir, and the bank's board replaced. Benghazi outrightly rejects this demand. The Haftar administration says oil and gas flows will remain on hold until Sadiq Al-Kabir resumes his legal duties to preserve the country's wealth from tampering and theft. But Tripoli government, led by Prime Minister Dbeibah, has shown no signs of backing down over the dismissal of Governor Sadiq Al-Kabir, who has been in the position since 2011, when Muammar Gaddafi's rule was toppled in a NATO-backed uprising. So why are both the sides refusing to budge? Now, this is because Libya's central bank dominates its economy. It not only owns the two main commercial banks, but also holds $27 billion in reserves, most of it from oil revenues. It is also the only globally recognized depository for Libyan oil revenues, which is a vital source of income for the war-torn country. SAC Governor Sadiq Al-Kabir has been targeting Dbeibah government in recent months. He has accused Tripoli of overspending and mismanaging the country's oil revenues. Dbeibah has accused him of favoring the forces in the east. Now, to oppose Al-Kabir's sacking, the Eastern administration then announced a closure of all oil fields. Khalifa Haftar's administration says the move is linked to repeated attacks on leaders and employees of the central bank based in Tripoli. It added that outlaw groups were responsible for a bid to control Libya's key financial institution. The latest peak in tensions has been triggered by a series of events in recent days. On Monday, local media showed a group of people breaking into the central bank's headquarters. Reports say that they were members of a commission tasked by the Presidential Council to take charge of the bank. The council is close to Prime Minister Dbeibah. On the 18th of August, the Libyan central bank suspended all of its operations after its head of information technology was abducted. The official was released a day later, and the central bank resumed its operations. On the 11th of August, armed men reportedly besieged the bank in a bid to force the resignation of Sadiq Al-Kabir. Now the interim government of the bank, who has been appointed by the Presidential Council, says that there has been a smooth transition of power and that operations would resume soon.
We have communicated with the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank through the representative in the Ministry of Finance, and we have reassured them of our commitment to respect national and international legislations and standards. The transfer of power, which was an administrative handover, took place in a simple and smooth manner. No doors or keys were broken, and no office was entered by force. Everything took place in a smooth manner.
The West, including the International Monetary Fund, has raised concerns over the Libyan central bank's accountability for years. But it is also opposed to unilateral removal of Governor Sadiq Al-Kabir. Libya's latest descent into chaos and instability is a part of a near-decade-long fight over state resources between the country's divided political elite. Both sides have shunned nationwide elections since 2014. They fear democracy may take away their privileged access to Libya's massive oil revenues.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alyson Grange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.
Obviously today, the T20 World Cup Bangladesh has moved across to the West Indies. What do you expect?
Hello, I'm Alyson Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.